I've had a lot of really supportive guy friends. Just a bunch of guys that I was like, I didn't even know we were friends like that. You know? They do get mad though. One of them was like, it feels like you're friend zoning me. I was so nice to you, I took you to the airport. It's like, my mom takes me to the airport all the time. And I never fuck her.
Hey guys, it's been a while since we've analyzed comedy that fails. Granted, there is a time and a place for her type of comedy. In my opinion, there's two types of comedies. There's the type of comedy where you turn your brain off, and then there's the type of comedy where you have to use your brain. And there's a time and a place for both. She's definitely the turn your brain off type of comedy. I got randomly recommended her stuff. Right before I got recommended her stuff, I was watching a video that was making me think. So I was in a contemplative mood. So that's not the time to watch her comedy.
I was so nice to you, I took you to the airport. It's like, my mom takes me to the airport all the time. And I never fuck her. She's never like, your mom zoning me. What the fuck?
A lot of times these gestures as family members never get appreciated. So maybe you should appreciate your mom more. But let's say she lives only 5 minutes away from the airport. That's why her mom takes her to the airport all the time. The central fallacy in this joke is this false equivalence. Family member feeling whatever familial obligation taking you to the airport versus someone that's going out of their way who probably doesn't live with you, driving you to the airport, a friend or something like that. It's very different. That joke, I'm like, this joke doesn't make sense logically. And I get it, certain jokes aren't supposed to make sense logically. But she's trying to create an equivalence. Oh, her guy friends are dumb because they don't understand that my mom takes me to the airport. I don't mom zone my mom. The assumption that you're starting out with is wrong. For example, you go home, you visit your parents as an adult. Your parents will cook with you. A lot of times you thank them, but you know, it's something that's always happened, right? Because they've cooked since you were a kid. But if you go to a friend's house, doesn't have to be romantic. Just go to some friend's house, they cook for you. It's a gesture. You see the difference? Unless I'm not understanding the meta joke. You know, sometimes Gen Z has meta irony, and she's actually making fun of her own entitlement. The fact that she doesn't understand her own entitlement. She thinks she's entitled to be driven to the airport because her mom drives her to the airport. So if anyone else makes a gesture, it's nothing. My mom drives me to the airport for free. Let's watch one of my favorite comedians and see how he talks about relationships. This guy's like the modern George Carlin. He's so good. So let's watch how he does it.
I do believe that lots of people are doing their best, truly. I just also think that... Okay, as an example, I can't read a map. I can't, like, you give me even if you gave me a map of this building and pointed to where I was right now and told me to get to a specific bathroom, I'm probably gonna end up outside. Like, I cannot seem to read a map. As much as I try, I end up turning it. So I tried to be a Boy Scout for a little while. It was terrible. And because when you try to be a Boy Scout, like when you really trying to go for all the badges at once, everything, and you really not getting anything, you are just being a problem in the woods. And one of the things was like I could not work a compass because I was like it's supposed to go in every time, right? And they were like, no, it's supposed to show you where north is by how it's positioned, but it doesn't have to point north every time. I'm like, oh, okay, because it's dangling. And they were like, well, did you let a magnet touch it or something? And I was like, I don't see what that should have to do with anything. Like, they're like, no, well, the compass works off like the poles of so if you touch it with a magnet, it confuses the... So you got a piece of paper telling me where I am and where I need to get. And then you gave me a cup of metal that points anywhere it wants to. And somehow I'm the one that doesn't know what he doing. Why are we even in the woods right now? We live inside. Have you ever thought of that? Try as I might, I could not read a map. Even if you lay the thing out, where I needed to go, where I was now, and the way to get there, it's like in practice. I couldn't close that gap in my mind because I knew that the map is a suggestion. It's a good one, but the map doesn't have to do all these steps. Even the compass is a tool, but if it's spinning, we might as well be Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Like, that doesn't, this thing doesn't help me at all. I don't know where it's pointing, and it won't be still. I'm being still, it won't be still. How does that work? Is north moving? Is north on its own journey? Try as I might, I could not seem to read a map, and that is what it feels like to, at least to me, be a man now. There's a map, and the map is laid out with lots of good suggestions, and you even get tools along the way to make sure that you get to where you want to be, which is being a successful man, being a good man, being, you know, a respected man. But then in actual practice, walking that road, you're like, look, the paper says. But when I look around.
When's the last time you watched one joke that was more than 3 or 4 minutes long? That's why this guy has that kind of George Carlin thing. He's able to get you to think. He's spending the time to really give you a framework / a paradigm. And through this analogy, through this comparison, you can, in the end, get the punchline. The punchline doesn't even have to make you laugh. It just has to get you to realize, whoa, this is something. And that's what I mean by smart comedy. Smart comedy sometimes will make you feel maybe negative emotions. It's not even going to make you laugh. It's going to make you go, whoa, ooh, that's deep. It's still comedy. You're bringing to light these things through humorous situations, even if the end result isn't always humor. This guy's name is Josh. What I love about Josh's way of delivering the joke is that he first starts with something relatable, which is this area of me that's lacking of a skill that other people take for granted. It's very relatable. Even if you know how to read a map, you can probably remember a time, a place when you did something or tried to do something that other people could do well that you couldn't do well, right? It's a very relatable way to bring people in. What I love about this is that he takes the time to really explain to you all the nuances of why it sucks to not have a skill that is kind of useful. And then he can tie it in at the end once you really digest what he's trying to say to the modern paradigm when it comes to dating and being a man. This dude is way more established in the stand-up comedy circles, so he has the full hour usually to do comedy. Whereas the girl in the first example I gave you, maybe she only has like a 3-minute segment, right? So she has to really rush her jokes, and sometimes you can't be brilliant if you only have 3 minutes. This Josh guy is amazing. And to the girl I featured, I want to give you encouragement too. Obviously, it's my first time getting recommended your stuff, so you're doing something right. It also doesn't represent your entire comedy regimen. So one day when you have a 1-hour segment, I want to hear you talk about relationships because you love talking about relationships. I want to hear you get more deep. So anyways, guys, what do you guys think about these two jokes? The second one is told jokingly, but you could argue it represents the actual purpose of comedy, which is to bring to light things that maybe people don't want to face if it were told a different way. And let me know if you liked the first joke also, and let me know if the second joke really hit you hard, made you really think about stuff. He's obviously men talking about men, but you could generalize that joke to life in general. Very few people in this world have one map. A lot of times we have like 6, 7, 8 maps. The maps are often talking about contradictory things, and even if you think you mastered 1 or 2 of the maps, putting it into practice is hard. Anyways, guys, it looks like the camera's glitching, so we'll talk soon.